So the bishop asked if I would like the pulpit, and some people know I wanted to be a priest. So, got my due here. Somebody needs to get a photograph and we'll memorialize it. Just a couple of reflections. As you know, I don't want to have you endure two full addresses, so this will be a little tighter. First, Bishop Massa, celebrants, thank you very much. Thanks for your prayers. No question that I will need them. That's not a reflection on the college, it's just a reflection on the times. Obviously, thanks to the family. There's an absence that is real, and I just want it recognized. One of the reflections today, and the bishop talked about the parable. I'd like for us to reflect on a different parable, with the bishop's permission. And it's the parable of the prodigal son. For me, one of the most powerful parables that Jesus tells. And I think it's something that reflects something the world needs now, which is more mercy. A lot more mercy. Pope Francis has a little book that is a product of an interview. What it's called, the translation is, "The name of God is mercy." It's powerful in terms of what we would do to reflect on that. For those of you who don't know the story, I'll make it brief. But the son asks his father prematurely to divide his fortune and what's his due. The father obliges and gives both sons their fortune. The one son goes out and wastes his fortune recklessly, going out and doing things that his father probably wouldn't approve of. He ends up broke. He finds himself working for a pig farmer, living with the pigs, eating the pig slop, and he then reflects that even his father's servants live better. So he decides to go back and ask his father for a job, to be a servant. And what happens there is profound and a lesson. There's multiple lessons, but this one is profound. When the father sees him at a distance, he runs out, he hugs him and kisses him and embraces him. You notice there, Jesus doesn't tell us that the father asks him any questions. Where were you? What did you do? Why did you do this? Are you sorry? The father didn't ask him to ask for forgiveness. He extended his mercy unconditionally, no strings attached. And this is a critical part. How do we create in ourselves and each other the dispositions to be that merciful? One of the ways we do it, I think, is forming community, so that our community members will challenge us to be merciful. But there's another part of this story sometimes overlooked, which when the father tells his servants to kill the fatted lamb and the celebration is taking place, the other brother comes and learns of this and is very angry. And the father says, your brother was lost and now he's found. But there's still a disappointment. And I think what Jesus is telling us there is to reflect on our own disappointments, when we believe that we're entitled to something. We're not entitled, but there's a jealousy. And the brother can't realize how it is that somebody can extend mercy in those conditions. How is it that we do it? Because he says to the Father, Father, I have been by your side. I have done everything you asked. And you extend the greatest, biggest celebration to my brother, who for all intents and purposes has been a disappointment. And this is what the world needs now. It needs a community of folks willing to live mercifully, lovingly, unquestioningly. Last night we had a performance by Breon Bain called Lyrics from Lockdown, a reflection on what it means to engage a population that is growing more invisible and bigger every day, which is a prison population. My favorite passage tells us, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me to drink. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was sick, you cared for me. When I was in prison, you visited me. Again, Christ doesn't say, when I was hungry, you fed me, but you told me I needed to get a job right away or you weren't going to give me my next meal. Christ didn't say, when you visited me in prison, I needed to do X, Y, and Z or you wouldn't visit me again. Christ gave that unconditionally. And I think Pope Francis is calling on us also to be witnesses of mercy and love. Colleagues and friends, that's what the world needs now. I am hopeful that I can contribute in some ways. Thank you very much.